it. So if I'm being real honest, what I would do is go completely outside the box with this idea. I would first have them make their first appearance on NXT. Ooh. Out of nowhere. Nobody's expecting it. Just random during an NXT title match. Pick one. They show up. They cause havoc. They leave. And the QR codes start again. And we're all just like, what the fuck just happened? Why? That's not what we were expecting. Then, Mike, I'd have them show up at some random ass backwoods indie show and attack some indie wrestler. Then I'd make a deal with TNA and I'd have them show up on TNA Wrestling and attack a wrestler. And I would set the wrestling media world on fire because you know how we'd react to that. We'd be, what the fuck is going on? These guys, why are they showing? What's the deal with TNA? Why are they at indie promotions? Why are they at NXT? I would continue this on. Because it's people like me who are like, this has gone on too long. I'd be like, fuck you. We're going to do this for a real long time. And we are going to show up. And Uncle Howdy is going to randomly be standing in the arena at times. And we're not going to explain to you for the next 6 months why this is happening. It's just going to happen. And then ultimately, I'd have them attack Cody Rhodes. And I would just have them be basically this anti-WWE establishment, this anti-wrestling establishment that is meant for chaos. I don't want them to care about wins and losses. I don't want them to care about titles. I don't want them to care even about being involved in matches. I just want them showing up, causing chaos. Because when you break down ultimately who is rumored to be in this group, individually, none of them are needle movers, Mike. It's Dexter Lumis. I don't think by himself he can hold the title or do anything. Joe Gacy, Nikki Cross, Bo Dallas. But as a unit, causing chaos, showing up places they're not supposed to, that would be the most effective means to me to use them, because I don't think at this point we've got the Judgment Day, we've got the Bloodline, we've got Karrion Kross's little group. We have enough factions that are covering the spectrum that I don't think you just insert kind of 6, I don't want to call them jobbers because they're not jobbers, but 6 mid-card wrestlers. I don't think you just insert them into a main storyline. So I like just chaos, just pure chaos. That's how I would book them.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. So I think for me, I would have scrapped the QR codes. Okay. I think that's too copycat for me, right?
I agree.
We've seen this. We've been through this. It's too much. I think if I were Triple H and the creative, I would have just had vignettes and promos on TV.
Yeah.
Like just, you know how they re-record, pre-record, yes. Throw it up, have some spooky, basically all the videos that they've had on the QR codes, just put it on TV.
Just show them.
Just put it on TV. So we don't have to do all this digging, right?
Yeah. Well, because I'm not doing it.
Right. Exactly. So in terms of how I would have them appear, I think it's kind of set in stone. I think they're going to show up on Saturday.
You think
something's,
so? I hope
something's going. Something's going to. I mean, it can't go any longer. We can't keep doing this.
You say that.
Yeah, I know, right?
You say that.
I know.
They did 55 minutes on Twitch.
That's crazy to me. That's unbelievable. But in terms of how I would book them, right? Now, I'm thinking of Triple H, and I'm thinking of like the Attitude Era. I'm thinking of like kind of way back in the day, right?
Okay.
The Undertaker had something called the Ministry of Darkness.
Remember this?
I don't know if you remember that or not.
I do.
It was a group that he kind of picked people and initiated them randomly.
Uh-huh.
And if you can recall, a lot of these guys were kind of jobbers.
Yep.
They really didn't have much names. You could kind of draw it together with the Wyatt Six, right? You can have one guy, Uncle Howdy. Now you got these jobbers that you're going to kind of bring in and kind of initiate. And as the year goes on, like I agree with you. This is not about wins. This is not about losses. This is about theatrics and just kind of entertainment, right?
Yes, 100%.
Let's pinpoint victims and let's make it a story and make sure that at the end of it, it all kind of makes sense. Maybe they join the faction, or maybe they're a changed person when they get done with it, right? And I don't know how you calculate that. Maybe it's somebody that isn't really making a name for himself or making noise. Like a Ricochet, for instance.
Yeah, definitely.
Just out of nowhere, lights out, boom, he's initiated. Now he's a different person moving forward, kind of a little darker. So I think that's kind of where I would go with it, like a kind of a Ministry of Darkness kind of feel. and because that kind of gives you leeway, not having to put titles on people, not having to do wins and losses, just more of just like theatric storytelling.
So I love that idea. I don't know if we're not already too far. I like the idea of Uncle Howdy showing up. You remember for a while, there was the weird storyline where like Tommaso Ciampa got kidnapped.
Yeah.
I like that idea of like just being in the middle of a match and the lights go off and then Ricochet's gone and we don't know where he is.
Yep.
And then you cut to like a backstage promo the next week and he's in a dark room locked up with a camera on him. And it is this weird, like, what is happening? And I would love if, like, the next 6 months were the recruitment process. What my fear is that on Saturday, they're just all going to show up. The whole crew. All 6 of them. There's not going to be a reason. We don't know why. We don't know why Dexter Lumis is there. We don't know why Nikki Cross is there. They're just there. And now they're the new Wyatt family. And I like your idea. I like the idea of, like, Bo Dallas coming back and being like, Bray has spoken to me, almost like a cult leader. Bray has spoken to me, and you are one of the chosen.
Yes.
Now come with me, and I like the idea of almost like the 6 of them going through a recruitment process and him almost releasing them. And when he releases them, then they win a title. Then they go on to do good things. I'm with you on that. That would be very fulfilling. I'm just afraid that like Saturday lights go off, there's 6 fucking guys in mascot costumes. Because I'm afraid that one's going to have a chicken head and one's going to be dressed as a pig. And it's going to be like, you know what I mean? It's going to be the very like straightforward Wyatt 6 that we've been told about. And it's going to be like, oh, okay. This is what we're doing here. It's going to be, all right. And then how long does that last? How long do people really pay? Because I do think like the reason it's going on so long is there is this like side group on the internet that are just fucking digging down the hole and every QR code they're deciphering and making content about it. So as long as those people pay attention, I think that it's going to keep going. But hopefully, I like your idea. I'm 100% sold. You could mix the 2 ideas. You could even go to like somebody in TNA and say, let us borrow this person. We're going to abduct them from your company. Someone like that, the Moose guy or something like that, right?
Sure.
And bring them over and run them like that.
Yeah.
Triple H seems like he's willing enough to do those kind of things. But it's fucking QR codes. I'm done with QR codes.
Me too.